Hey guys, Chris Kubley here. I'll be presenting to you my project called Are We There Yet? Designing a Companion for Lone Drivers. So, we know that transportation is a fairly straightforward thing. It takes you from point A to point B in a smooth fashion, but if you've ever driven before at night for long stretches of time and on your own, you know that your concentration might not be the best. Your fatigue is increasing, your boredom is increasing. Um, it's it's not that great, and it's all due to lack of stimulation. Sometimes if you have the person by your side, then they can engage in conversation and they can help you out with driving, but unfortunately we don't always have that person right next to us. So I thought to myself, huh, maybe robots can actually bridge that gap. And we know that robots are fairly good at doing repetitive tasks, but social robots, they can also help us with fulfilling human emotional needs in some way or another. Um, the cool thing about robots is that they're physical, intangible hardware. So you can touch them, you can see them, and they can basically act like a transitional object as well in this situation. So, what is a transitional object? A transitional object is when a person creates a very deep attachment with an item, and it is a means for them to achieve either emotional or physical independence. They are very important because they motivate creative thinking, abstract thinking, and symbolization. So, a cool example would be like Winnie the Pooh or a blanket, even. And not only kids have transitional objects in their life, but also adults, especially when it comes to religion. In Christianity, for instance, people tend to take Saint Christopher with them, be it on a coin or on a necklace, because he is a patron saint of the traveler. And in ancient Rome, people would bring with them an image of Hermes or Mercury. And these objects are so important because they make people feel that they are accompanied and they're with somebody else that's protecting them. So, going back to the social robot idea, or the robot companion, as I like to call it, we need to think of very strict guidelines, especially when it comes to human factors, to design a highly efficient companion. As a fun fact, 93% of car accidents are due to human error. So, without further ado, I will present to you four heuristics or four rules of thumb to create your robot companion. So, here goes. So, the first one would be to maximize driver performance. And how we do that is by minimizing distraction whatsoever. If we were to design a robot, it would have to be as less distracting as possible, mostly because we don't want colors everywhere or movements everywhere that can distract the driver. So we can basically design something that has a form that is familiar to us, maybe a teddy bear or something like that. We also need for it to connect to our cell phones. Everyone's using a cell phone these days, and by using voice interfaces for commands, such as text Susan or call Brian or something like that, then we don't need to be touching or looking directly at the robot as we're driving. Also, the robot could use some emotional recognition, and by that we can use either video, such as cameras, although privacy issues can arise there, but audio as well, which both of these methods indicate fatigue or boredom, and then it would lead for the robot to recommend a place to go to sleep. Number two would be integrating driving assistance systems. Now, several modern cars already have a lot of features, such as autopilot or any kind of sensor or ABS brakes. It would be ideal if the robot companion could link up with these systems via Bluetooth, for instance, so it can help you overall with driving. It could also teach people that are willing to learn how to drive and have a more humane companion right next to them during that experience. Most importantly, it would have to be able to make a call during emergencies, especially if the person is passed out or unconscious. Then it can call 911 or any type of emergency services. Number three is leveraging human robot interaction. Now, the robot is a tangible physical thing you can see and touch, and this interface is often preferred over touchscreens or avatars. Robots are also known to influence mood, and even if the car is not as modern, it could turn knobs or push buttons for you if you want to turn up the volume or maybe turn on the heat. It can do that for you, but it could also maybe even hand you out money during drive-thrus or toll booths if you need that. And finally, number four, which is enriching enjoyment and well-being. This would be the most creative heuristic of them all. We need the companion to be conversational in order to reduce boredom. We need it to be entertaining so that it can tell jokes or maybe even curate a playlist like a professional DJ. And why not maybe even also take a selfie here and there along the way? We need it to have spatial contextual awareness, meaning that it needs to know where it is and where it's going so that it can suggest parks or restaurants or hotels if needed. It also needs to tell you when to get gas. So for instance, if you're driving through the highway and you're gonna reach the desert, it'll tell you the exact place to get gas before it's too late. And maybe even also give you fun facts and off the beaten path suggestions. This would make a highly interactive and enjoyable experience. So there you have it. The main goal of this project was to make the driver feel better in terms of performance, well-being, and their experience. And I think this robot companion is very well suited to do all three. And also, this technology could be used for hikers or for people sailing around the world, and maybe even astronauts in long, deep space missions to Mars and beyond. So what is creativity? In traditional terms, it is the production of novel ideas that are deemed useful and situationally appropriate. In this case, while the robot might suggest useful destinations to the driver, like a hotel when they seem tired, it also provides the driver with options not explored before, such as alternate routes with breathtaking scenery or charming towns. It also empowers the driver with tools and information, giving a creative agency that would not otherwise be present without the robot itself. If the robot companion also creates a musical playlist or recommends a podcast on a historic location that they might be passing by, this will also surround the driver with novel information. So there are three things that this human-robot interaction brings to the table: the sense of agency, the sense of improvisation, and the sense of spontaneity. And I think the interaction between both the machine and the interface and the human driver makes a wonderful symbiosis. All in all, the design of the robot companion asks for a collaboration between the robot and the human driver for a creative output. So the robot needs to make novel information based on that situational awareness that it has, but also the driver has to be receptive to that novel information. So as you have the receptive side, and also the output side, you can create new ways of traveling and new ways of driving. And so that is how I link creativity to my work. Thank you for your attention, guys, and see you around. Bye.